Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 7v7 custom match here on the most amazing Roxas map generator on Chaos Saturday. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. We'll start with Team 1 on the northwestern side of the map, then we'll end with Team 2 on the southeastern side of the map. Taking a look at Team 1's isolated player first, we have in Imperial Gray, it is Sui, I should say. He's playing as a UEF. He is a 2000 rated player. He is the highest rated player on Team 1, and he is the highest rated player overall. Moving into the northwestern corner here for Team 1, we have in the best color of forest green, playing as a UEF, the best combination. It is Ysball. He is a 1200. Again, in forest green. To his east, we have as a UEF, it is Sizelon, playing in amethyst purple. He is a 1700. Next door to him, we have in Chevy Crimson, it is NeverIfAlwaysIs. He is a UEF. He is an 1800. Try saying that 10 times fast. In orange color orange, it is the customary color of Firv, the Billy Nuke ambassador himself, playing as his customary faction of UEF. He is an 1800. In Barbie Pink to his east, we have the UEF of Brobey. He is a 1300. And rounding off Team 1's entirely UEF team, it is MSG, playing as, again, a UEF. He is a 1700. So for Team 1 side of the map, it is only UEF. So 7 UEF players for Team 1. I think that is the most of one faction I have ever seen in any game on one team. So they don't have access to Cybern Tech, Aeon Tech, or Seraphim Tech for Team 1. Moving on to Team 2's isolated player in the southwest, we have as a UEF, it is Len King, I should say. He is in lighter strip pink. He is an 1800. He's actually tied for the highest rated player on Team 2. To his east, we have in Batman Gray, it is ActiveBacklash, playing as a Cybern. He is a 1500, breaking the mold for the game so far, picking a different faction. To his northeast, we have in Royal Blue, it is the UEF of Karimm. He is a 1600. In Snow White, next door to him, we have the UEF of Balfron. He is a 1700. And then rounding out the midsection here for Team 2, we have in Blood Angel Red, it is chaospyr, playing as a UEF. He is an 1800, tied with Len King for the highest rated players on their team. Moving northward, we have breaking the mold as well for Team 2 and the game. It is Babel. He's playing as a Seraphim in Light Oak 10. He is a 1500. And then northeast of his position, we have also doing so, it is the Seraphim of Quasor. He is in Regal Purple as a 1600. So for Team 2 side of the map, for their faction makeup, they have 4 UEF. And then they have 1 Cybern, 0 Aeon, and then 2 Seraphim. So Team 2 does have a little bit more diversity in terms of their faction choices in Cybern and Seraphim Tech. They are missing Aeon Tech, which means there are no Aeon players in this game. Apologies to those loyal to the princess. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless. And as a reminder, there are 11 UEF players out of the 14 possible in this 7v7 game. So a lot of Percy's, and maybe we'll see a lot of satellites and other UEF things like Fat Boys, for example. Taking a look at where probably the comms are going so far, just because everybody is starting to run around this map. And it is a actually pretty small map for a 7v7 game. We do see it's 1v1 in the west. We kind of figured that, being these are the isolated players for Team 1 and Team 2. It's Len King versus Sui. I keep saying Sui because I watched an anime a while ago, and one of the characters' name was Sui, so it's stuck in my head. In the middle of the map here, we have Team 2's Balfron, we have Karimm, we have chaospyr, and we have Babel versus Team 1's Firv, Brobey, and NeverIfAlwaysIs. He's going for gun upgrade with his team, and Brobey already done with his gun upgrade. So it looks like it's a 3v4 in favor for Team 2 in the middle. Maybe we'll see movement from Ysball to the middle, and maybe we'll even see some movement from Sizelon. And then in the northeast, it's actually 1v1 between Team 2's Quasor, who already has gun, going for T2. T2 is done for MSG right there to the north for Team 1. So 1v1 over here, 1v1 over here, which we already see some combi-com action happening already between those two isolated players. Len King is pushing against this position. It is UEF versus UEF. Team 1 PD trying to be built here in response. We'll see if it gets built soon enough. A little bit more focus on veterancy, it looks like, for Lincoln, just to get his maybe hit points up to 1 star at a bare minimum. We do see that Team 1 PD is almost done. Does take some shots. 1 overcharge would be nice to kill it off pretty easily. Goes after the engineers. Stops the construction of said PD emplacement, so prevents any annoyances there. Team 2, we have gun upgrade started for chaospyr. Gun upgrade started here for Babel. T2 upgrade started here for Karimm. T2, gun upgrade started for Balfron there to the southwest. Looks like he's actually heading westward maybe to assist that western front. Firv going for his gun upgrade. And I don't think any really become action happened in the middle of the map yet. We do see some units from chaospyr pushing in on that western edge against Ysball's position. Gun upgrade is progressing here for Sui. He is still in that kind of high yellow, low greenish territory, but again, we do see linking is here. He has 1st star vet, so he is a little bit further down the totem pole in terms of hit points, but again, not by much. That gun upgrade will probably favor Team 1 heavily. It might end up being a murder-suicide. We'll see. T2 Firv cosplay support done, says Karimm. At least that's the automated meshes when he has that T2 upgrade. That is pretty funny. He's just cosplaying as Firv, who's also in this game. And Bigger Broomstick is done for him as well, which means his gun upgrade has been completed. Nano repair started for Balfron in the west. And that gun upgrade from Sui is inbound. T2 upgrade also started for Firv. He is building the TML precursor as we speak. Attack missile started for Karimm. The names of upgrades is pretty funny. Gun upgrade has now hit the comm of linking. If he's paying attention to his damage, he will notice that. He might even notice the bigger gun on the arm of said comm. Units still inbound from Team 2. Units inbound moving into position from Team 1. And Ling King still doing decent, to be honest. Again, it is double the damage for Sui in favor. So it is helping to drive those hit points down further and further into the grave. But again, Ling King had the advantage of having a little bit more regen. And now he's at 2 star vet, so we got to jump in hit points again. He's trying to use that environment to keep himself alive a little bit while longer. Overcharge hits the unit there. Sui trying to get in behind the mountain to stay out of range. 1 shot misses, 1 shot lands. More units are inbound, and it actually looks like Linking might just be surrounded here. He might try to get out of here, but we will see. He's taking a lot of shots. He should be taking a lot of shots here shortly. We do see some Lobos are here. I think he is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Team 1 scores first blood. Sui gets out of there. He would have died from the explosion from the comm, but he is nowhere in sight. If he can get some veterancy, this would be very, very crucial. Oh, he gets it, but not in time. And there he goes. Team 1 scores first blood of Sui against Linking. But now we have Team 2's ActiveBacklash and Balfron inbound with Nano on board. And I don't think Sui's going to get out of there in time. Looks like that western base will be handed over to chaospyr for now. Attack missile still progressing here for Karimm. We have T2 started here for Ysball. We do see some shots between Firv and chaospyr. We have some shots between NeverIfAlwaysIs and Babel. And Sui is retreating. The force from Team 2 has the advantage both in comms and in units. All they have to do is keep pushing, and that player for Team 1 will be essentially knocked out or killed at this point. Talking about Sui's position. We do see some gunships maybe on station shortly, but T2 Stingers don't have a lot of DPS, so they're just more spammable units more than anything else. Nice little overcharge kills a couple of units for not Chaos, but for ActiveBacklash. Forces have been transferred over to Karimm, not to hold for chaospyr. We do see Firv not looking too hot. He's about 50% hit points. In the middle, we have chaospyr also not looking too hot. He's dropped almost into the red. He probably was moments ago. Maybe Missile was inbound to assist a little bit. We do see Sui coming in. He gets some 1-star veterancy action. It looks like Team 2 has spotted the comm, and they are inbound. Possibly maybe after that, Commander banking this game an even 6v6 here shortly. Team 1, of course, is in the lead. It is 7v6. D2 upgrade started here for Saizoan's coming. He has gun online. Tac missile started for MHG to the northeast. Another missile was inbound. And Sui is trying to stay out of range of that comm. Again, it's gun versus gun and nano. So Team 2 has the advantage in terms of even, just current hit points, total hit points per second. Actually, total hit points in general. So everything is favoring Team 2 unit-wise, all the things. And Sui's not going down without a fight, though. We do see Team 1's Brobey going up against Quasor. It's gun T2 versus gun, so a little bit more hit points for Team 2. But 2-star veterancy here for Team 1 kind of evens things out quite nicely. It is 20 hit points in second region versus 22, with totals slightly under 1,000 in favor for Team 1. But again, slightly under 1,000. We do see nano repair started here for Babel in the middle. T2 PD is going to be killed off here pretty quickly. Attack missile is not done for Firv. Looks like he had to cancel it most likely. We did see a attack missile started for Karimm. He also canceled that upgrade. And here comes Team 2's Balfron pushing in. Again, we have Syzoan's comp inbound. It's gun T2 versus gun nano. And he's already a 3-star vet, and Syzoan does not have support on the ground. Sweet coming in from behind to assist a little bit with killing off the remaining forces. But his base is dead and gone. It looks like Balfron might just go after the comm of Sweet, go for the easier target force. He's already, decently damaged at this point. Now it's just comp become action. Overcharge comes in. It's just going to be a kill for Team 2, I'd imagine. Unless we can somehow get out of there a second time. ASF's over the top from both teams. Just having a tiny little skirmish there. Looks like Syzoan is inbound to try to help a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Balfron has taken 2 shots, though. One from Sui and one from Syzoan, but it doesn't matter. Some T1 PD came to assist from Balfron. Kills off Sui, and Syzoan is out of there. So now it's an even 6v6. The isolated players on the western side have been destroyed, killed off, removed from the game. And even the base for Team 1 Sui has been pretty much destroyed. So Team 2, just de facto by that, is in the lead. We do see it's pretty much about that base worth of eco in favor for Team 2. Again, not a huge lead, but it can make a difference. We do see Tech Missile Comm of MSG coming in to annoy the eastern player of Quasor, who's pushing in against his position more westwardly, though. So he is losing some mexes. We'd even talk about additional mexes on the map or reclaim. I mean, I probably should have taken a look at reclaim before players scooped it all up. Currently on the map, though, there is 15,000. We'll just say there's at least 1,000 mass per player. It looked like there was a lot of rocks. We could probably look at total mass. Oh, maybe 100,000 mass on the map, maybe. That's a lot of mass. We'll say like 7,000 mass per player. I think it's probably, because maybe that's too much. 5,000. 5,000 would be 70,000 mass. Yeah, okay. I think 5,000 mass per player is probably a rough estimate of the beginning amount of reclaim on the map. Rough estimate, of course. And in terms of Syzoan is still retreating. Missile inbound. TMD is knocked offline. I don't think it's going for the comm. It's going for a mech to the north. T2 mechs will be eliminated here. Boop, there it goes. 6 mass a second gone for Syzoan. 15 minutes on the clock. And Team 2 is doing very well now on that western front. Not really going to severely push into Team 1. Just stomp on their any sort of advancement. We do see there are some avenues across. Not that one. Can't use that one. That one or that one. So he's not completely in the best position. He could get sandwiched by Team 1. He tried to get sandwiched and then just denied it. Immediately cut off a piece of bread and said, nope, nope. Not going to be put on a sandwich. Go away. We do see MSG again. Gun, missile, and T2 versus Quasar's gun and T2. Hit point count heavily favors Team. Ooh, Team 1's MSG. Almost didn't. You wouldn't get a kill on the comm, but it definitely would have said, "Nuh-uh, you're not getting anywhere near me." And we do see that gun upgrade coming in to deal with the engineers building a T2 PD. Probably maybe should have gone for T1, but hindsight and all of that. And yeah, they're not going to finish that anytime soon. Somehow 3 air players ain't working on this map, says Team 1's Firv. We do see a couple of gunships going after Firv's commander. Speaking of which, they are going to get shot down here pretty quickly. But Ysball is over here from Team 1, and we have Balfron inbound from the west. He's being assisted by Karimm's forces as well. 3 says never if always is. And we do see Firv is going to be able to escape a little bit on that little narrow neck of land. Ysball is moving more eastward, though. He might be fine. I see 1.5, says chaospyr. Team 2 has T3 air online, and secondary T2 air also online. So like he said, 1.5. Team 1, T3 air, T2 air, T3 air. And so it's what, 2.5? So Team 1 has the air advantage just by facilities alone that have T3 air headquarters or bases that have it online. And we do see a little bit of a land bridge there, so Balfron could say hi to Firv. He's still pushing, though. Balfron is not giving up. He's at 11,000 mass kill. He's at 5-star vet. Team 1 has been pushed severely back, and there's Babel killed off by Brobey's nice little Percy's. Nice grab there. Denies Team 2 one of the two Seraphim commanders. Makes this now a 6v5 in favor for Team 1 once again. And Firv needs to be careful how close he gets to that combo Balfron, because he will lose that fight unless he can get a really nice missile hit, or even maybe even two in there. Needs to keep moving, though, just so that Firv does have a nice little line-up shot to kill off the comm, or at least severely damage the comm. And Balfron looks like he might start to be falling back. The gunship's targeting the flak. Should be enough, but still needs to worry about just sending in a couple of gunships at a time, essentially drip feeding it. And then we have Team 2's player of Quasor defeated by NeverIfAlwaysIs. So both of the Seraphim commanders are gone for Team 2. It is just UEF and one Cybern remaining. Granted, Seraphim tech still exists in the game, but there are no Seraphim commanders remaining. So in a game of 11 UEF players at this point in the game, both of the Seraphims are gone. And the Cybern is still in it, representing the only faction not UEF at this point. MSG pushing into now Balfron's position to the east. Again, given the fact this is full share game, all of the units, all of the mexes, all of the everything goes over to somebody else. So it semi-supercharges. I didn't switch that puck over to mass. Supercharges somebody's eco on Team 2. We do see ActiveBacklash at 200, but he's the air player, so he's just going to keep his air base and call it a day. We have Karimm, he has double base. We have chaospyr, who has double base, and we have Balfron, who also has double base. So all the other players on Team 2 have double base. Team 1 has only lost Sui at this point, which means it technically would have been double base, maybe for Firv, maybe for somebody else, but this base actually is taken over by Team 2. And they're losing out on mass, and you can see that lead is starting to widen significantly. Now, there is an attack inbound that might fully eliminate this base and make it more of a 6v6 main base territory situation here for both teams. But again, as of right now, the eco divide is very, very bad for Team 1. If it continues, that might be what wins Team 2 the game, unless it's an APM thing, and then Team 1 wins it, because currently it's a 6v4 in their favor. Eastern side, we do see MSG still pushing in with those Percy's from NeverIfAlwaysIs. This base is not going to look good here very quickly. We do see some Percy's moving into intercept from chaospyr. Everything that actually was transferred over to chaospyr to just maybe assist with reconstruction and whatnot. Percy's down the middle here for Team 1 spearheads as well. Again, it's going to be a lot of UEF on UEF crime in this game. Team 2 on the southwestern side just kind of just hanging out. We don't see a lot of pushing in. We do see Balfron has pulled back at least a little bit. Doesn't want to get killed off and drop it to a 2-1 advantage for Team 1 in terms of comms left alive. MSG getting some nice veterancy. He's up to 5-star vet already. Missile, of course, is loaded, locked and loaded, ready to go. Those look like a T3 Mex is vulnerable. Maybe the facility wouldn't get one tapped. It would have to be at least 2 or 3 missiles, I believe. Janus are coming online. Facility has been targeted, and I was going to say watch that transport get hit, but T3 Mex gets hit. Doesn't kill it off entirely. It needs 7,000 damage instead of 6, because the missile only does 6, so it needs 2 missiles to kill off 1 T3 Mex. But I'd say that's probably worth it. 2 missiles for 1 T3 Mex. I'd say that trade's pretty worth it. Janus comes in, singes the backs of those units from Brobey. Nothing too bad, though, for him, though. Shoots down that Janus real easy. We do see Sizon just locking in the western approach here from Team 1. Team 2 is probably not going to push in just right now. They do need to be careful, though. That is somewhat vulnerable if Team 2 decides to try to push that pressure point. But as of right now, they've decided not to do that. 20 minutes on the clock again. Team 1 at 6 players. Team 2 at 4. Eco is starting to be a little bit better for Team 1. Still about 200 mass a second behind, but it's getting better than 300. And Karimm annoyed at MSG targeting his mexes with his nice little mobile missile launcher on board that comm. Percy standing strong against the Percy's from Team 1. Again, there's a lot of actually missiles coming in to assist as well a little bit. And in terms of UEF versus UEF affairs, it just comes down to how many of one unit you have over your opponent. Do you have vision on that unit or radar, at least the bare minimum? All that sort of stuff. It makes a huge, huge difference. And Janus hitting the comm of MSG. He's going to be fine for now. And shouldn't be too bad of a walk home. I'm surprised there's no ASS from Team 1 moving into it. It says Nuke, 75% built. Who is that built for? Is that for Team 2? I had it that's for Team 2. Predictable. MSG is predictable. Ah. Okay, well that answers who's building that. MSG is being hit by fire. He is still in the green for now, however. And Team 2 might start be focusing that position here shortly. Yeah, they know how close it is. And looks like that is a typical strategy here for MSG, is to go for Nuke, kind of like how Hyper 2001 goes for his multi-spam Nuke strategy, which again does work and doesn't work. I've seen matches where both things have happened, where he spams Nuke and he wins, and he spams Nuke and he doesn't win. And looks like the Janus have now been dealt with. He does drop into the yellow, though. Still needs to be careful about staying there too long. Team 2 can go for some strats and kind of ruin his day there. We do see Karimm assaulting a little bit on that western side, and lots of conversation in chat about whatnot, going for nukes. I feel like people would hate the satellite more than they'd hate the nuke, because at least everybody has a nuke in this game. Not everybody has a satellite, considering it's a unique structure / unit to the UEF. So most people actually would have it available in this game at this point, but not the point that's coming across at this point. Keep saying point a lot. Don't know why. And Percy dodges that last shot, but does get hit by the other one. So, I mean, it's a lot of back and forth. Nothing really winning one way or the other. Eco is kind of semi-stabilizing at about 200 mass a second. Again, that base is knocked offline, but there are mexes that Team 1 did control that are knocked offline. Looks like they are starting to re-establish control over there at a bare minimum, so getting engineers there to rebuild sooner rather than later would probably be nice for chaospyr's Eco. We do see a lot of these spearheads stacking up. Team 2 does not have access to volcanoes. They do have zappers and the Sarah from TMD, and still the buzzkills as well, so there is still that to consider. But again, it's one of those things where you build a lot of that one unit, great, but if the opponent counters it pretty easily, they kind of just became glorified paperweights. So we'll see if those spammable missile launchers came into play, or will come into play. And Nuke is done and is being loaded as we speak. And Team 2 does have some Authams with some Perseus here. I was informed yesterday or so, a couple days ago, that I think it was in Russia they call the Authams, they refer to them as slippers. And I read the comment and I went, you know, that actually makes sense why they would call them that, because they definitely look like slippers. And speaking of references to stuff, kaboom, there goes a kill on the Team 2's Ysball from ActiveBacklash. Looks like they were going after Firv next. And that is the air player for Team 1. At least one of them eliminated. Didn't have a big of an air grid as his teammates of NeverIfAlwaysIs and Sizelon, but he still had somewhat of an air grid starting to form. So it is now a 5v4 now in favor for Team 2. And that Eco, again, is starting to be about less one-sided at this point. But it is still, again, one-sided. Nonetheless, I don't see any big exciting things happening in the background. SMD is being built, of course, because of the nuke that was built and is being loaded by Team 1. We do see MSGs might have a hard time actually landing that nuke, considering most of these positions have an SMD and they are loading. How close is the nuke to being loaded? Not that close, so honestly, he probably won't be able to fire it soon enough to be able to go after the main bases. He'll probably have to go after land units or something else like that. Or just another grouping of mexes, which we didn't even talk about at this point in the video. I will talk about Team 1 side of the map. Again, that is a starting location for Team 1, so that doesn't count as additional mexes. There's a Trimex position there. There is a 4-star mex position there, as well as a... is that for Team 1 or Team 2? I feel like that's for Team 2's side of the map, maybe. But there are some mex positions to be concerned about, of course. There's, Some splattering of mechs is there, some splattering of mechs is there. There's not a whole lot, but there is something. There's another quad mech position here. Firv has this under pretty much lock-in key, bar that one mech that was taken offline. Give airbase the size, says Firv. Talking about the base. NeverIfAlwaysIs is building on that edge of the map. It is nice to have a backup. Nonetheless, gives it over immediately. Keeps some of the mexes, but, you know, gives over most of the stuff at a bare minimum. Production might be more of a focus here for Team 1 more than anything else. Because if Team 1 could outproduce Team 2, all they have to do is lock down some key points on land, which they've already done on the western side, to be fair, for the most part. Eastern side, they're starting to kind of shore up defenses. Middle's a little bit more fluid in terms of avenues without heavy resistance, but still resistance nonetheless. They could go for game ender, satellite, artillery, that sort of thing. Everything would work on this map. And, of course, Nuke has almost been loaded. But, again, Team 2 already saw it ahead of time. SMDs has been loaded there and there. And as a backup one, not there yet. Not there yet. SMD is loaded. SMD is loaded. So, again, pretty much the major locations have SMD protection. And they have a little bit of layering with the SMD on the front line. We do see some Percy's are inbound. This might be enough to kill off this SMD and allow for at least a nuke to come in and blow up the rest of it. I don't know if Team 1 will go that far with it just yet, though. But they do see that the Team 1 is aware of the Ythotha being built, and there's a Fat Boy nearby to slowly take out the shielding and now go after the Percy's, who are stacking up quite nicely for a small AoE set of weapons on board that Fat Boy. You can see it has a tiny little bit of a AoE explosion there. Again, it's very small, but at least it's better than nothing. And now we see some Titans and Percy's down the middle here, which are actually being able to catch up to the spearheads before the Percy's from Team 1 get in position. We do see some broadswords here. That one got shot down almost immediately. There's a decent amount of flak here for Team 2. I don't see a lot of Cougars here from Team 2 or even the lightning tanks from the Seraphim side of things, but maybe we'll see them. Most likely we'll see them from chaospyr, given he's the only one that has access to that at this point. The other base is pretty much dead and gone. And these are all UEF stuff anyway, under the control of Karimm. And at 28 minutes on the clock, Team 1, again, not as bad in terms of being behind Eco as it was earlier. It's about maybe 100, maybe 50 max, maybe. And in terms of map control, I'd say probably 50-50. We are seeing a little bit of resurgence from Team 1 on this western front now. And unit count in terms of comms left alive, Team 1 has a slight advantage. It's 5v4, so it's not heavily in favor like it was earlier. It's a little bit better off in terms of being about even, but Team 1 still has that advantage. So let me know down in the comments what you think is going to occur in the win this game. And, of course, there is a nuke that is now loaded, ready to go from MSG. We'll see how long it takes them to fire that thing, but thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't, because I don't know why you wouldn't at this point, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I guess we'll see where the nuke goes at this point, because there's that. It's going to this position with the chicken. It will kill off the chicken if the chicken doesn't move. The chicken is moving. Is it moving fast enough and far enough away? Honestly, no. It actually backs up within range of that. Oh, and it barely goes within range of that SMD, saving that chicken's life. It would have killed it. MSG says, unfortunate. You so good, says. I mean, it was, had he put it maybe right about there, it would have been enough, I would imagine. Oh, yeah, it just barely went within range. That is unfortunate. You have two, has two ecos, yep. We do see Balfron points out the land army sitting here from Firv. And Fat Boy in the middle here is going to get hit by a decent chunk of gunships, but then the gunships are going to be hit by ASFs from ActiveBacklash. Do we see ASF response from Team 1? But no, a couple Cougars, though. We do see a chicken is pushing in. And he's taking the brunt of the damage as his forces move up to assist. That eastern side for Team 1's probably not going to look good because there's really nothing there yet. Looks like there's a conversation between MSG and chaospyr is what's going on. And shield has been started for Syzolan's comm. Again, the chicken can probably be a little bit more aggressive in pushing in. Jane is coming in to just kind of cement the point of, no, you're not going to have stuff here. And here comes some units. Actually, that's a decent conga line of units from Brobey. And that's if they keep pushing in, to be honest. The chicken might try to skirt around them. We do see, again, a couple of shielding units going to help protect those Percies from Team 1's missiles. And that chicken is inbound. Either they know where the comm is, they don't know where the comm is, they're just trying to avoid that land army from them. So that's more of a coincidence than anything else. But, you know, it might yield some fruit in killing off MSG if things continue to kind of maybe sort of go that way. And maybe they've already seen him now at this point. Oh, they are aware of where he is. He is being targeted by the chicken. It's not going to be long before he is eliminated. He is on 5-star vet. He has T2 and gun and attack missile online. Overcharge comes in, takes out a chunk of hit points, but it's not going to matter. Team 1 loses MSG, making this now a 4v4. It was a 5v4. And no longer is it in favor of Team 1. It is a tie once again. And it does look like some gunships moving in to assist from Syzolan. Honestly, you might be more worth it to go after the nuke. Draft bombers over the top from Team 1, trying to drive the point home of chicken. Go away, go home. Not welcome here. Again, Team 1 definitely hoping that Team 2 stays the course, because they might have a chance to save that nuke if he doesn't shift southward, which he probably already should have done that at this point. Probably won't get it in time. Might kill off a couple more mexes like we see. The shields do get hit. Now both strats and fatties and everything else shooting at it causes it to finally get destroyed. But Team 2, 32 minutes on the clock. I haven't seen a strategy on what they're... No, that's a shield. I was going to say, I was like, you put that in the middle of a mass FAF farm? And, yep, Team 2 going for satellite. I mean, that's kind of to be expected, given there's 11 UEF players in this game. Artillery started here by Syzolan as well, so a little bit more longer range. He still has the nuke on his team for Brobey. So, again, it's nuke and artillery versus one satellite. Not going to favor Team 2 at all. If that trend line continues where Team 2 builds more satellites, now it's a different story. But for now, it's not going to be the sole reason Team 2 wins, I'd imagine. Tech nuke started here for Firv, more to the Midwest. Again, trying to get his calling card online. Western side has pushed back against at least the forces from Syzolan. Looks like he still will retain control of that little base for now. There's a lot of PD and shields and everything else here, so good luck getting through that. We're seeing no man's land starting to form a little bit more here. Everywhere, to be honest, but specifically the middle and then the northeast. There are forces here, but there's not really a whole lot going on in terms of a mass production, in terms of mexes. So, honestly, it's just, again, no man's land because no one's in it. At least trying to stake claim to it at bare minimum. They're in it because they have to walk through it, but they're not in it, if that makes sense. And the eco situation has definitely accelerated here for Team 2. Team 1 barely cracking 1,000, while Team 2 is at 1.6k. That is a massive lead to have. The leaders in eco for this game are Karimm and ActiveBacklash and chaospyr for Team 2, with Syzolan of Team 1 at 400 roughly as well. A little bit behind his majority of his opponents, but there is still a couple of players that are producing 170 and a little bit above that. So, you know, these players are not out of it just yet. Strats are inbound for the fatty. They probably will get the fatty. Ooh, one more would have been enough. And that bomber does not make it home. I mean, a gunship or something could just blow the wind off of that fat boy's treads and just collapse him to the ground. And it looks like NeverIfAlwaysIs a little bit annoyed that the snipe attempt didn't work on the fatty. That's what I'm interpreting. I could be entirely wrong, to be honest. Satellite is it's almost done. Team 2, you going for anything big yourself? No. No. I don't see any big and exciting things yet here for Team 2 as of yet. Yeah, nothing really being built in that regard, unfortunately. I mean, usually 34 minutes we see that stuff start to happen, and there goes a boom nuke. Lands on the fat boy and kills it, so at least a little bit of revenge there for Team 1. The comm of NeverIfAlwaysIs looks like he tried to control K. Oh, actually, he got destroyed while flying to the middle of the map. I don't know if he's going to try to land or not, but sending in your comm on a transport near some mobile AA units from Team 2. Probably not the best idea. But, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to kill off some units. It would have been better off to kill off the air units, to be honest. And secure Team 1 the air victory there. It's now a 3v4 for the first time in the game. Team 2 is in the lead for comms left alive. We have a Duke shooting at the air grid for Team 2. Looks like it's punching through it, the shielding a little bit. Boom Nuke. Oh, that's going to land very well. Kills off a chunk of forces for Team 2 as well. And again, there are 2 fatties here for Team 2. Those aren't to be underestimated. Satellite is inbound. Again, it could make or break the game, that one satellite. We shall see. Chicken is inbound on that eastern side. Again, not really a lot of opposition, but still is heavily damaged, to be honest. 2-star vetted Chicken, 30,000 mass killed. Is something to consider. Honestly, that's probably the same chicken from before. I just didn't notice that it didn't get killed off. They have Maybor says... What? They have Maybor. Don't you mean that? Oh, they're building a satellite now. They definitely don't have Maybor at this point. Definitely would have recognized that. Please scout them, says Balfron. Duke says Babel. So yeah, I've been 3v1ing all game. It is unfortunate, but Team 2 has won some decent territory, at least denied territory for Team 1 with their land forces. So that is a detriment to Team 1. Not having as many lands. But again, depending on the map, it could do very well or do very bad. It just comes down to can the map support it or not. This map might not. And we have a Fat Boy and Chicken murder-suicide situation with the Chicken dying essentially at the last second to the Fat Boy. We do see that Nuke is being encircled about by Strats. Strats protecting that Nuke, and it's getting up to about 50% down, a little bit more than that for that Nuke. Boom Nuke lands, takes out a chunk of forces for Team 2. Does hit the shielding on the Fat Boy, but not entirely bad for Team 2. The forces from Team 1 actually kind of just stop in their tracks. Looks like they're going to fall back, maybe. We do see a Fat Boy's inbound from Karimm. Lots of mobile missile launchers probably going to target the Fat Boy. It's in range. Strats commented about by Team 2's Karimm. They are aware of that, so they know what's going on. No big surprises for Team 2, at least as of yet. Strats are inbound for the Fatty to the east. They will grab the Fatty. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Yep, there it goes. Pretty easy win there. Strats kill off a Fatty. And, oh, some of them get out of there. So, hey, there's that. Airfight will happen. The major one will happen the first time in the game, at least the ones that I covered. First set of ASFs gets slaughtered by Team 1, and now the big airfight happens. There is some AA for Team 1 for an advantage. And I think Team 1 might actually have the... No. Well, they were going to have the numbers for a second, but Team 1 decided to go home. They had some AA in the area to assist, so I don't know why they're going back home, but... Team 2 did take some losses from the AA nonetheless. That isn't to be disputed, but was it worth it? And he's still sitting there. Needs to pull those back and get them out of range of those Cougars, but Team 1 continues to engage again. Are those Januses? They are Januses. They're going after Brobey's comm. Looks like they are. And fire will be dropped. Actually, no, they're not going for the comm. They're going for that satellite that's being built. I feel like there's other things they probably could have shot at on their way over there, but, you know. That's just me. Another Billy Nuke lands here for Team 1. I would assume that's Firv at this point. Everybody on Team 1 could go for Billy Nuke, but I highly doubt. Yep, he has Gun, Shield, and Nano, and he has Gun, Shield, and T3. So it is Firv, the only one producing and firing off those Billy Nukes. Chicken is storming the front gates here for Team 1. No, that Fat Boy is newly minted, but we'll see if it'll save Team 1's defenses. It will kind of focus the fire from the Chicken at least a little bit while longer, but again... you are going to lose the Fatty that you just built moments ago. And there it goes. Brobey is within arm's length almost. That is a mass fat farm to be a nice grab to kill stuff off. Chicken is at 3-star vet and closing to 4. Does hit Brobey's comm. Does kind of squish a nice little P-Gen. Will kill off said P-Gen, to be honest, because of the ion storm that activates. But that might just be about it in terms of devastating blow to Team 1. Just a couple of P-Gens and an air facility or two. Starting... Lunchbox says Karimm. Definitely interesting there. Naming scheme-wise. Team 2 is still expediting their growth in terms of eco per second. It's 1.8 versus 1,000. We do see the UEF satellite from Team 2 was knocked out, but the other one to the west is not. Might be a little bit more newer on the build order from Team 2. Again, Team 1 has a nuke, artillery, and satellite. They haven't really used them in tandem yet because that satellite is moving southward. Looks like they're going to target the air grid, which definitely did not live much longer after I looked at it earlier. So not looking good there for Team 2 in air power. That might explain why Team 2 just didn't have enough ASFs as Team 1 did. And that happens from time to time, to be honest. There's something you can do about it, something you can't do about it. Just kind of the luck of the draw as it goes from time to time. And there goes another bit with nuke. Going to land right next to that fat boy. On top of that fat boy, kills off Drunk of the Shielding and a couple of other forces. Satellite pointed out by MSG. They spotted it from Team 2's Balfron. We have Fat Boys down the middle. Team 1 needs to be careful, though. Team 2, if they get some AA online, that's not going to really work out in their favor because that's a lot of mass for strats. Granted, in terms of mass income, Team 1 is slightly in the lead, 250, almost to 200,000 in terms of mass reclaimed by both teams. Like I said, not looking good for the air grid for Team 2. There's not a secondary air player anywhere, right, unless you want to count the one from Karimm. And Nuke is inbound. Shielding is down. SMD is going to make a difference, maybe? Maybe. Looks like SMD was circled about by Team 1, so they know it's under threat. Actually, it's going to land short and kill off 2 fatties. Kaboom! Nice grab there. Redeems that first nuke fire for sure. Nice grab there. Probably about 50k mad. Only 40, but still a decent chunk of firepower eliminated. Now there's a huge chunk of the map on that northeastern side. Kind of just barren. I don't know why no one's trying to develop that, but it looks like there was some effort. Some T3 mexes exist, but yeah, it looks like, yeah, AA cannons are going to be the focus there for Team 2 for now, and then they can worry about eco. Again, because for Team 2, it's almost a 2-to-1 advantage. So they still have to worry about it, but they don't have to worry about it as much. Artillery started here for Team 2's Karimm. Anything big and exciting happening back here? No. No. The satellite is gone. More satellites going to be thought about here for Team 2 here shortly. Boom Nuke doing very well at keeping Team 2's forces back. Same thing with Team 1. It is inbound from a lot farther away, so there's a lot more lead time, which means it could easily miss a bulk of the forces, which it might just do that. Maybe they sit there. That within range. Nah, it was. It killed off most of them. Probably would have gotten almost all of them if they didn't move. They weren't given orders to position themselves somewhere else, sort of thing. Let's try to get it, says Balfron, talking about Firv's comm. It is risky targeting a commander instead of a base at this point, but it has worked from time to time. There's no place to hide in terms of water. Scratch that. A little bit of water down there, but I don't think it's tall enough, I'd imagine, to hide a comm in there. That's probably by design for at least some of these maps, because you don't want your opponent to just escape in the water. Now you can't hunt him down because he's in the water. Billion nuke lands again, killing off more facilities for Team 2. Again, it is a loss nonetheless, but it's not a bad loss. Billion nuke is inbound. Again, redirect systems don't exist on the... Well, it's actually in this game in favor for Team 1, because the only cyber in this game is Team 2's ActiveBacklash, and he is definitely Team 2's air player. Oh, nice chunk of damage. Kills off almost every force from Team 2 to deal with that little incursion. But again, it's not looking terribly great for Team 1's Firv either, considering, again, there's multi-fat boys built here by Team 2. There's just a freezer alone for Karimm. It looks like maybe a second fat boy maybe coming online soon. Looks like maybe not going for satellites, so trying to repair the first 2 that were destroyed. It's going to be number 3 built and the first one online in terms of continuous being online. And there goes some Scorchers, and honestly, I don't think that's really going to matter against that shielding unless, I don't know, you supercharge the napalm or something. Who knows? It is going to hurt a little bit, but not by much. And the Fat Boys are really punishing Team 1 at this point. Again, look at this. There's nothing over here. And it's just not looking good. 45 minutes on the clock. And I think maybe Team... if Team 1 can turtle hard enough, they might have a chance. But that's That's 4 Fat Boys shooting at you. Even if Team 2 loses 2 of them, they would still have to. And artillery has been focused by Team 1. They don't want any artillery to come on the market here, which they might or may not have a choice in that. SMD would be a nice target to tip up, and he just focuses it immediately after he blows up that BJ. So never mind. I think they're aware of what strategies can be done. Fat Boys are sitting there. I mean, they're punishing all of these units just standing still. Team 1's Firv getting tons of mass killed, though, with his comm. 169,000 mass killed. He's done very well for himself in the Billy Nuke Ambassador game. Fat Boy is almost dead, though, here for Team 1, so not super great either. Northeastern side, very, very barren, but Team 2 has eliminated another base for Team 1, so that's 2 bases knocked offline. They're actually dropping back below 1,000 mass a second. It's 1.9 to 900, so double the mass income from Team 2. I haven't seen a game ender yet. Second artillery coming online. Satellite, of course, and Nuke. The Nuke is finally eliminated, but everything else is gone. Or everything else is still there, I should say. Team 2, first satellite is done. Second satellite is done as well. And doesn't look like anything else big and exciting is happening. Artillery did get hit. It's not dead yet, but again, there is a chicken inbound. There's another chicken inbound. There's 3 fatties inbound. There's 1 fatty there, but there's also 3 fatties there. Yeah, it's just, there's only so many holes you can plug up before the water just seeps through anyway. Chicken's going to stomp on all those structures and whatnot, and the chicken's going to lay the groundwork for him. That might be a crippling blow going after the T3AA match platform here. It will slow down production considerably, and Team 1 needs every little mass point that they can get. Another chicken is in range. Oh, it's going to be close. And Fatty shielding probably won't be not really needed at this point because it's not even done yet. Oh, shields pop back online. The shields pop back online. And we have multiple Billy Nukes landing next to Megaliths from Team 2. I don't think that's going to really work at this point. And it's just not looking good, like I said, for Team 1 at all. They're just getting overwhelmed on land. There's another Billy Nuke. It's not going to do much. Firv's comm's getting hit by dual Megalith fire. There goes that comm. It's just 2 comms remaining for Team 1. Now we have Zazona taking a hit. And there goes Team 1's player, Brobey, as well, due to ActiveBacklash's Megaliths. And honestly, the fact that that comm from Team 1 is still there is slightly surprising because of the shield. The Fat Boys aren't necessarily inaccurate. They're just a little bit more AoE, kind of similar to how the Scathis works. But they're... Oh! Doesn't matter because he's dead anyway seconds later. But hey, he lived a little bit longer than if he didn't have the shield pop online at the last second. Team 2 wins the game. 48.5 minutes almost on the clock. MVPs for me, I mean, the Western attack was great from Balfron. It kind of alleviated that pressure that could have been there a lot longer and actually been there in general. Eastern side did get hit by MSG, but they got eventually revenge on him. Honestly, I think players in the game did very well regardless. I don't know if there's one player in particular that could say, yes, he's the one that won the game for Team 2. I don't think I have that. So let me know down in the comments you think is going to not currently, but did get MVP. And I will see all of you in the next one.